What's up guys, Russ Lyman here, and welcome to my PRGE coverage of 2018. Let's check it out.
Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
I was really excited to make it back again this year because there were so many people I had to meet. But I'm getting ahead of myself, the show hasn't even started yet. This year we decided not to wait in the long line for the show. Instead, me, George, and Bubba from the S Squad just sat down on a couple couches and played some games while other people entered the show. There wasn't anything major we were looking for that we needed to get in as soon as possible. And I enjoyed this more relaxed approach that we took to it. Once we made it in, I had to swing by our good buddy, the Nintendo Doctor's booth. I had to see what he cooked up for this year. And he had for sale a Super Bowsette game on the Nintendo, exclusively for the PRGE show. This was getting some attention for sure. I also had a few items for sale on the Nintendo Doctor's booth. He let me sell a few of my custom controllers as well as my custom NES, and people were definitely checking it out. And I made my first sale 10 minutes into the show. This man picking up the Ninja Turtles?
Oh yeah, bud.
It's got more ooze on the back too, you can't see it, but I did the little splatter. And my second sale was my NES Freddy controller. My buddy Jeff picked it up, and for good reason too. La 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 la. So Jeff wanted to buy my controller.
Of course I did. Now, the one thing you don't know, Russ, is that, you know, you have a few tattoos, right?
Right.
My biggest tattoo, obviously, he just threw some random ass clay on it.
Try to make like his face is melting or whatever.
Yeah.
Similar
Oh yeah,
to that.
that's exactly what it is. And then the actual crazy looking color looks like it's in the boiler room.
Yeah. The arcade was back in full effect this year. They had plenty of pinball games and arcade games to play. There was even a kids section with one of those one-up arcade cabinets of Bubble Bobble. The Beanbag Lounge was a great place to relax and collect your thoughts throughout the show. The night before, me and the guys just spent some time hanging out there and playing some games on our phones or the Switch. Resting in the Beanbag Lounge. I really like this section a lot because walking around and being on your feet all day can get tough. And while you're relaxing, you can listen to some awesome tunes by DJ Switch. He was spinning some awesome music and remixes, and it really set the vibe for the show. They also had the old school living room set up again, where you could play some classic Atari 2600 or Nintendo. Speaking of Atari, Atari Age was back again this year. And they had an impressive booth set up, with plenty of new Atari games. Yes, you heard me, new Atari games. I had a great time playing a few of them. One of them that caught my eye was Sheep It Up. You play as a sheep that is jumping onto these Velcro platforms that move back and forth at various speeds. They always have some pretty impressive things on display at the show, and this year was no exception. I got to see firsthand the Nintendo knitting machine. This thing was impressive and massive. They had it printing out various things throughout the show. I had to keep checking back to see what it had printed. I don't know how many of these things exist, but I'm glad I got to see it firsthand. Speaking of short runs of things, one thing that definitely caught my eye at the show were these custom arcade cabinets of old Nintendo games. There was Mega Man, DuckTales, and even a Zelda one. And I got to talk with the creator, Sam, from Rewind Design.
Design on Instagram.
Rewind by Design.
Rewind by Design on Facebook. So.
And you designed these arcade cabinets.
Yeah, I completely designed them, hand built them from scratch. Everything's handmade. The cabinets are handmade. The artwork's handmade, hand embossed.
Wow.
But the whole concept was I wanted it to, what if they made these games in the 80s? What would they have looked like?
Right.
And I wanted it to be a completely immersive experience to the 80s, so it had to be true to everything. So even have down to the CRT TV, it couldn't have an LCD.
Right, yeah.
Any of that. So
the speaker like grill where it's like that's like the Triforce, the money sign and Mega Man.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. It was like
small detail.
Yeah, I'd made a couple Nintendo cabinets, Donkey Kong and a Fix-It Felix, and I was like, it has to match, but why does it have to match? Why can't I theme it for whatever the game is? And
right.
Zelda was the golden shiny part that was set apart from the rest of
everything. Yeah.
So this had to be gold and shiny, and then I was like, just started tweaking things as I went. Yeah, it's like, what if they made an Oregon Trail in 1840?
Yeah, yeah.
What if there was electricity in 1840? What would this game look like? So it's why not? You know, have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and experiment and create that nostalgia in a three-dimensional format. You know, that's
awesome.
Real life.
Yeah.
So.
I love it, definitely. Cool, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So many games, so little time. Let's get back to the showroom floor. Someone else that I ran into was Sergio, who had 2 games for sale at the Expo that he was showcasing, and he also had a cool music CD of him playing ukulele. Alright guys, I'm at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I've been talking to Sergio here. He has this cool Ninja game, Ninja 1 and 2, and I actually picked up a CD you do ukulele. This one right here. Boom, so I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to pick it up and listen to it and hear it and support some local artists. There were a ton of games at the show, and plenty of high-end games if your pockets were deep enough. We'll take a look at this case right here. What do you think the most expensive thing in here is? The little Samson? Maybe the Stadium Events Manual? Wrong. Wrong. It's actually the sports game. I know, right? A release of the game for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 was scheduled for October 5th, 2010, but it never saw the light of day. A demo was released while the game was being finalized, but the demo was plagued with glitches. EA found the product to be unsatisfactory and canceled the game. And the only copies out in the market were smuggled out of EA somehow. This was a sealed copy and the vendor said he had a pending sale of $14,000. Man! Being out here on the West Coast, I was surprised at how many people I actually ran into that I knew, or they recognized me from my YouTube channel. Johnny, give me a thumbs up. Yeah!
Russ!
What's up?
Russell!
What's up?
Is that what we're doing?
High five!
I'm awake now. I am awake now, Russ. What's up, Russ? What's up, brother?
Riggs!
What up? Oh, my thumb! Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out. Hey!
It was truly humble and a great experience to be a part of this awesome gaming community. I did end up meeting Kevin from Happy Beer Gaming. He was doing a NES Batman cosplay, and I was already doing my NES Jason, so we knew we had to meet up and get some footage together.
Yeah, let me get a picture real quick.
Yeah. After walking around, it was definitely time to grab some lunch. It's lunchtime. We're picking up a sandwich and putting it in her mouth. Once we finished that, me and the S Squad decided to take a look at the Video Game Museum, where John Hancock had his entire NES collection on display. There were so many box games I never seen before, and not to mention all the collectibles. They had a cool Nintendo timeline, where it started with Nintendo playing cards, board games, Rob the Robot, and more. It still impresses me at all the items that were put out for the Nintendo back in the day, and yet I still see things that I haven't seen before. I went back to the showroom floor and ran into Kenneth from Wada Games. They were showcasing their grading of various video games. So it's like any games, you could do repo games I saw in there, not just licensed stuff.
Yeah, so not just licensed games, but you can do unlicensed, reproduction, homebrew. This particular copy is a sticker sealed copy, so it has this gloss sticker with Nintendo on it.
Oh yeah, huh?
So these sticker sealed copies came before they started shrink wrapping their games. So these were from the test market launch of the NES in New York and LA before the NES was launched nationwide.
Right.
This happens to be the only sealed copy of, a sticker sealed Mario.
And my buddies from Retrotainment were back. They were showcasing Haunted Halloween 86 and their fully funded Kickstarter game, Full Quiet. I actually got to play it a little bit, and I can say I'm super excited for it to come out. Well, it wouldn't be a PRGE show without hosting the classic Tetris World Championships. The amount of skills these players have with this game is astounding. I chatted briefly with my friend Paul Tessie. What? Yeah, so you played last night. You did lose though, so I was a little upset.
Bad pieces. Bad pieces.
It happened. We already played, so you're gonna be playing today, is it, or?
Yeah, qualifiers is today.
The matches ended late Sunday, and winner Joseph went home a champion. He was only 15. He wasn't even born when the game Tetris came out. Well, the show was wrapping up and I had to hit the showroom floor one last time to see if I missed anything. Dr. Light!
Hey!
Hey, I'm excited. I've been playing Mega Man 11 and it's great.
It is great. The kids are better than me though, so, you know, I don't know. It's a generational thing. It's okay. I'll beat them all at Mega Man 2, which we picked up today.
Yes!
Yay!
I finally ran into one of my longtime friends here on YouTube, Riff, from the channel Pixel Game Squad. We got to chat for a little bit.
Hey guys, Game Chasers here.
That's right, we're finding games at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
This is, by the way, it's very good to see Russ in person. You know why I like Russ? Because he smiles a lot.
That's right.
That's something.
A positive.
You have to be. That's actually any tip for a YouTuber out there. One of the biggest tips I was ever given is always smile. Because if you're smiling, people will smile back. So that's why I like Russ.
They're gonna have fun watching the video.
Well, even if they don't like what you say.
Right.
You're like, let's talk about politics and religion. And they're like, yay, let's do it. Because you're smiling.
Glad I get to run into you. The first year I was gonna come out to here, you guys couldn't make it.
I know. Well, it's just funny because I feel like we already like knew each other.
Oh
but
yeah,
you see
from
people
going back and forth and.
Yeah, but it's just YouTube's a weird world like that. Like you see people and you're like, have I actually met you in person? Because it feels like
the interaction.
You already
everything.
feel that like connection, you know. And I normally watch Russ Lyman while I'm going about my day in my underwear. Not kidding either.
Not kidding.
You're the videos that accompany me in my undies.
Well then. His buddy Gabo is there too, trying to get some last minute deals on Sega Saturn stuff.
Good?
Yeah.
Like every game room ever? Underwear and sweaty socks?
Smell like Robbie.
And old Pamela Anderson posters?
I could probably do 140.
140?
Ricky. Wait, you're not Ricky.
No. That's why.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Russ. Russ, what you doing? I just always wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
And he also ended up purchasing my custom Stone NES system that I have for sale. I was happy that it went to him, knowing it would be in a good home and cherished. My last stop was at Mark Erickson's booth. He was back again from last year. He's one of the illustrators for many of the box art from our childhood. He also designed this year's t-shirt and media badge, mimicking the Mega Man 2 cover. I ended up picking up a large print of Mega Man 2 and a smaller one of Space Harrier. I also chatted with Mark's wife for a bit, and she was such a sweetheart. I actually ran into her the day before in the parking lot. Their battery had gone dead on their car and she was looking for jumper cables. Unfortunately, we couldn't help her out. I felt bad. We ran into you guys in the parking lot yesterday.
Oh my god, are you the guy? Oh my god, all day long I wanted to apologize.
Again, I want to thank the staff and everyone at PRGE so much for inviting me out and hooking me up with the media badge. I'm glad I could get this awesome coverage for you guys, and hopefully people see this and want to make it out to the show. I certainly know I'll be coming back next year, and hopefully I can see some of you guys once again. It's almost over!
Shinobi! And Russ Lyman! Whoa!
I want to give a shout out to the Nintendo Doctor for being so kind and letting me stay at his house every year that I come down and visit. I really appreciate it, man. If you guys want to see all the stuff that I picked up from the show, I have a separate pickups video that you could check out. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel and lets me know you guys enjoy the content that I put out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. I put out weekly videos. And as always, gamers, I'm Russ Lyman, and I'll see you next video. And I want to give a super shout out to all my Patreon supporters, Joey Ellis, George Standiful, Joe Sheevy, David Apuzzo. Whoa, hang on, cut the end screen. Actually, a quick shout out to David Apuzzo and his wife, Becky, for having their first newborn child, Kylie Rose. So, looks like I get to be an uncle again this year. Head over to my online merchandise store if you want to buy baby onesies or t-shirts. Maynard, Dr. Pest, Nintendo, Brian Culpepper, TechWizX, and everyone on my Patreon page. Thanks so much for your constant support. Link below if you guys want to join. And I'll see you guys later.